Arsenal get green light to move for £60 million Arteta target after Liverpool transfer decision. And Fabrizio Romano finally reveals the destination of the £22 million star. Stay with me until the end of the video to understand everything happening behind the scenes at the Emirates Stadium. Love Arsenal as much as we do? Then don't wait another second. Subscribe to our channel now and be the first to know everything about the Premier League's greatest team. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of true Gunners fans. Now, let's jump into today's top news. Arsenal receives a huge boost after Liverpool's transfer decision. The Anfield side are set for one of their most transformative summers in years after the departure of Jurgen Klopp and the subsequent appointment of Feyenoord coach Arne Slot, with the Dutch manager taking on one of the biggest jobs in the Premier League. With transfers needed at Liverpool this window, it's no real wonder that the Reds have been looking at players also reportedly wanted by Arsenal, such as OGC Nice defender and France international Jean-Clair Todibo. Yet the Reds have now seemingly handed Arsenal a boost in the race to sign one target. Liverpool to drop interest in signing Arsenal-linked Pedro Neto. According to journalist Ben Jacobs, Liverpool have dropped their interest in signing Wolves winger Pedro Neto, with the Reds put off by the Portuguese international's injury record and rumoured £60 million asking price. Jacobs said, "Liverpool and Pedro Neto have been linked, but I'm told that's not one that they are necessarily looking at the moment, partly because Wolves are going to insist on £60 million plus. And also the player's injury record at that price is maybe putting off Liverpool." An attacker who has been strongly linked with a move to Arsenal in recent weeks, the Merseyside Giants dropping out of the race for Neto is nothing short of massive for the Gunners, who could now have the green light to sign the Wolves star. Indeed, a wide attacker is high up on Arsenal's transfer list for this summer, and whilst Liverpool's concerns over signing Neto are justified, Arteta could be willing to take the risk on the forward given how long the Gunners have been interested in the forward. Gunners have to make a stance soon on if they also want Neto. An attacker is clearly coming to North London this summer, yet Arsenal need to be clear on which target they wish to bring in amid ongoing rumours suggesting that the Gunners are going to sign a centre-forward. Should such a deal go through, there might not be any room left in the transfer budget to bring in a winger, with a midfielder and young central defender also on Arsenal's summer wish list. As a result, Arsenal need to decide soon if they actually want to push through with signing Neto, who could be the missing piece of the attacking puzzle for Arteta heading into the new season. Fabrizio Romano shares what he's now heard about Emile Smith-Rowe leaving Arsenal. Arsenal could be set for some more squad changes this summer, and Emile Smith-Rowe is one of the players who could end up departing. Smith-Rowe has been very much a bit-part player this season and has failed to kick on since bursting onto the scene a few seasons ago. Injuries haven't helped Smith-Rowe in fairness to him, and now, a summer switch could be on the cards. Over the weekend, reports suggested that Fulham were keen on signing the Arsenal midfielder. And speaking about the situation with the Arsenal number 10, Fabrizio Romano has now shared what he's been told about the Gunners' ace. Fabrizio Romano shares what he's heard about Emile Smith-Rowe. Speaking for Caught Offside, Romano has confirmed the news that Fulham are indeed looking at signing Smith-Rowe. "We continue to hear reports of Arsenal outgoings, and one name now attracting particular interest is Emile Smith-Rowe. I can confirm, as the Telegraph reported, that he is one of the names that Fulham mentioned internally during a meeting to plan for summer window," Romano said. "Still, it will be up to Arsenal also, as even in January they insisted to keep him. I think he deserves to play, he needs to play, but I understand Mikel Arteta when he wants to keep as many players as possible. Arsenal, like all clubs who are ambitious in the big competitions, will need good squad depth again next season, so let's see what happens. Smith-Rowe has to get out of Arsenal. Sometimes it just comes to a time in a player's career where you have to move on, and it looks like Emile Smith-Rowe has hit that place. The midfielder is too good a talent and player to be sitting around not playing most weeks, and there'll be a host of clubs keen on him. Fulham wouldn't be the worst move in the world either. They have a top manager in Marco Silva and are looking to spend and kick on further this summer. Smith-Rowe, then, would be wise to consider this one, and as we all know, Arsenal will be more than open to doing a deal if the money is right. Hopefully for Smith-Rowe, a summer move can give him a kickstart and get his career going again. One of the most exciting players in Europe has now been made available for £43 million amid interest from Arsenal, according to a recent report. According to Ebola, Sporting are willing to sell centre-back Ousmane Diomande for between £42 to £51 million this summer. Arsenal have long been linked with the 20-year-old, as have Premier League rivals Manchester United, who are in the market to replace Raphael Varane. Liverpool and Newcastle United have also been linked with Diomande, who has been labelled one of the most exciting players in Europe, and competition for his signature is expected to be rife. Sporting were previously looking for £68 million to sanction a sale, but since the African Cup of Nations, Diomande's level has dropped. Whether that puts off Arsenal remains to be seen. Evidently, Sporting are eager to move Diomande on whilst his stock remains high, but clearly, they aren't totally convinced with his performances in the second half of last season. Perhaps that should give Arsenal reason to look elsewhere, and Marc Guéhi should be at the summit of their transfer list. The Crystal Palace defender has plenty of room to develop under Arteta's stewardship and has a wealth of Premier League experience despite his age. £45 million Arsenal star has already told Arteta how he can get back to his best. It's game-changing. The 27-year-old attacker was a revelation for the Gunners in the first half of last season, with Jesus spearheading Arsenal's attack as the North London side took a commanding lead of the Premier League table heading into the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Yet, as we all remember, injury out in Qatar put Jesus out of action for months, and the former Manchester City man has yet to really recover from the setback, so much so that reports indicate that the forward could be sold this summer if a good offer comes in. However, all might not be lost for Jesus, and the forward has already stated how Arteta can get the best out of him. Speaking to the Manchester Evening News back in 2021, Jesus revealed that he is comfortable playing out wide, a change that Arteta could use in the new season in an attempt to get the best out of the Brazilian. Indeed, we have in fact seen Jesus used in this sort of role already this season, with the former City man used out wide against Pep Guardiola's side in both Premier League games, as well as in wins against Brighton and Hove Albion and Manchester United. With a good enough run out in these positions, Jesus could find his feet again in the Arsenal 11, and the forward's previous comments on playing out wide paint a picture that could be game-changing for the Gunners. Jesus said, "I feel comfortable out wide and can help my teammates and my team. I can make runs in behind, control the ball, make passes, make crosses, help in defending. As I say, I feel comfortable there. I can make runs in behind, control the ball, make passes, make crosses, help defend, so it's all good and suits my game." Jesus deserves one more season to prove himself at Arsenal. It's easy to forget just how electric Jesus was in those first few games at Arsenal, with the £45 million signing from City looking like the real deal and a future Emirates Stadium icon in the making. And whilst this season has been a struggle for Jesus, a full summer to recover followed by a completed pre-season could be what's needed to breathe new life back into the Brazilian, as well as a potential position change. At 27, Jesus is about to hit the peak of his career, and cashing in on the Brazilian at this stage might be a foolish endeavor from Arsenal, who know that they have a special player on their hands. Jose Mourinho is determined to stop Arsenal signing £26 million player this summer. Fenerbahçe Turkish fullback Ferdi Kadioglu has been extensively linked with a move to Arsenal this summer, interest that dates back to January. Of course, Jose Mourinho was appointed new Fenerbahçe manager on Monday, which could now change things. According to a report by Turkish outlet Star, Mourinho is determined to keep Kadioglu at the club for at least one more year, given he is regarded as their most important performer. The information details that Arsenal are still the most serious suitor, with an approach expected this summer. Should they sell, Fenerbahçe would demand £26 million for the 24-year-old, who presents a very versatile profile. Predominantly a left-back, Kadioglu can also step into midfield or play on the right, a player who would seem well suited to Arteta's tactical flexibility. Of course, Mourinho may be even more reluctant to sell his star given it's Arsenal in pursuit, who have been his rival on more than one occasion. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.